welcome to Old Ways Gardening and Prepping. My name is Teresa. I'd like to welcome you to my backyard underneath the canopy on this beautiful overcast day. I'd like to invite you to have some fun today. We're going to do a dual, well, not just dual, but multiple purpose vinegar today. Yes, I know I have promised y'all organic, natural beauty products. So here we go. We're going to get started on this one. We are doing a rosemary infused apple cider vinegar, which, yes, can be used to make a wonderful hair rinse that works wonders for your hair, especially if you have oily hair, dry, itchy scalp. You have to be a little careful if you have brittle hair, and it helps bring the oils into your hair, your natural oils. It cleanses out all of the byproducts from your cleaning, your shampoo and your conditioner and all that. You don't really need to use the conditioner when you have this wonderful hair rinse. It not only detangles, but it works wonders. So let's get busy. Okay, I have a good sized pile of rosemary trimmings here from me starting up some more cuttings to start more rosemary plants. Also from making smudge bundles as well. So I don't want it to go to waste. We want to use it. Now it is clean, it is dry. You want to make sure your rosemary is clean and dry. Also, you don't want anything that's wilted, any chance of mold. Make sure any dead leaves are gone. And let's get started. Now, I'm using a half-gallon jar. You can use a quart jar. You can use a pint jar, however much you want. And we're going to put this into the jar as gracefully as possible. Now, as a wonderful hair rinse. Now, please read the description box below the video. I will have all of the information in the description box for this herbal vinegar. Now, this is a rosemary infused vinegar. We're not making vinegar. The vinegar's already been made. We're just infusing the vinegar with the wonderful flavor of the rosemary, the amazing scent of the rosemary, and the healing benefits of the rosemary. Now, for those with blonde or light hair, you do have to be careful using this because this can make your hair darker. It works wonderful for women or gentlemen that have silver or gray hair. Oh, it just makes it shine, and it's so healthy. And what you'll do, and I'll have it in the description box below, after you shampoo your hair, towel dry it, let it dry. Don't let it get absolute dry. You want it just damp. You will let this vinegar first. Let's talk about the vinegar. You'll let it steep for 8 weeks, people. Not sooner. Going over is fine. That's not going to hurt a thing. But you have to let it steep for at least 8 weeks. Now, you want your jar, whatever size jar you're doing, close to halfway up. There is a lot of rosemary in this, so it's fine. Now, you can also use bigger sprigs, but you're going to want to cut it down. You can either use your homegrown homegrown rosemary, or store-bought if you don't have any other option. As long as it looks fresh, make sure it's not wilted, it's not that wet, like moldy look, or it has mold on it. You do not want to use it. Now what we're going to do is just pour our vinegar in, and you want to fill the jar up. This is just plain apple cider vinegar. If you have apple cider vinegar with the mother, be more than happy to use that. If you make your own apple cider vinegar, use that. Go on that. Use that. Now this, you can use saran wrap, or I cut up a pint-sized Ziploc baggie. I use the freezer bags because they're stronger. And you're going to want, now it's going to float, so don't worry about it a bit. As it infuses, it will break up and it will end up sinking. You just want to make sure that all the air bubbles that might be trapped in with the rosemary is out. And of course it's going to rise to the top, don't worry about it. Now, like I said, it needs to sit for 8 weeks. That way it's completely infused. The vinegar has sucked out all the nutrients, all the medicinal benefits of the vinegar. Now, you don't want to use this straight on your hair. It'll be too strong. And I'll have the recipe also in the description box below. You will take, depending on how much hair you have or how strong you want your hair rinse to be, you'll use 2 to 4 tablespoons of this rosemary infused vinegar to a cup of water. You'll want to mix it in a spray bottle, and then that, like a hairspray, kind of like pump bottle, not one you clean your counter with. And then that way, after you take your shower, your bath, your hair's clean, you will spritz your hair, all of your hair, down into the roots. Run your fingers through it, make sure it gets in there really good. And don't worry, you're going to smell like rosemary apple cider vinegar for a while. But as your hair dries, the scent of vinegar will evaporate. Your hair will smell like rosemary. Alright, you're going to want to write rosemary. And I put apple cider vinegar ACV. It is made 8/24/22. Now, after 8 weeks, you can strain the rosemary out if you want to. Don't waste the rosemary. You can add it to salad dressings. And like I said, this is a dual purpose vinegar. Not only is it good for salad dressings, your hair, this can also, the vinegar can also be the basis for your fire cider, especially when you you're supposed to use apple cider vinegar in your fire cider. You can use the rosemary infused vinegar in your fire cider. You can also put the rosemary, some of the rosemary, into your fire cider. You can take this little bit of rosemary out, add it to salad dressing, take some of the rosemary, some of the vinegar out, put it in a blender, add some olive oil, and blend it real good. It can be a wonderful rosemary vinaigrette. It can be an amazing marinade for lamb. You can use it on pork. I haven't tried it on beef. You can use it on fish, but you gotta be careful because the vinegar can cook your fish faster than you expect it to. But it's wonderful. And like I said, I'll have all of the instructions on making this into a hair rinse. Like I said, those who have blonde hair or very light hair, be careful, it can darken your hair. Anybody with dark hair, it might make it just a little bit darker, but you're going to notice after a while of using it, you can use it 1 to 3 times a week in your hair, as long as you take 2 to 4 tablespoons of the vinegar and add it to a cup of water. You cannot use this straight. It might be rough. And when you're spritzing your hair, please make sure you do not get it in your eyes. You will know it immediately. But you just spritz your hair, rub your fingers through it, or take your clean hairbrush and brush your hair and just let it dry naturally, and you will know a wonderful difference in your hair and at least a couple of uses. It won't take long. It's a natural detangler. You have itchy, dry scalp, this will work. Oily hair, this will help. Brittle hair, like I said, be careful. Simple, easy, homemade, and you know exactly what's in it. Sorry about that, everyone. I have people that live around me that don't have the amount of brain cells God gave a fly and don't deserve the cars, the vehicles that they have, because they don't have any common sense, which is very rare anymore. Now, with that out of my system, this rosemary infused vinegar can be used for so many things, not only as a beauty product, but also as a medicinal product, as well as a culinary product. Like I said, keep it in a cool, dark place for 8 weeks. 8 weeks from the day you make it. And once 8 weeks is here, or longer, it's ready to use. Now, with this amount of rosemary in it, you can strain it out, and it'll still be rosemary infused apple cider vinegar. You're not making vinegar. The vinegar was already made. Simple, easy. Just make sure that you agitate it every couple days or so. And like I said, as the vinegar works on the rosemary, it will break up. It will start looking really pale. Don't worry about if it starts looking really pale. That only means that the apple cider vinegar is doing its job. Simple, easy, anybody can make this. You just have to believe in yourself that you can do it, and that you can do anything within reason that you put your mind to. And this is, you could also, if you're a rosemary lover, use this also in pickling recipes that call for vinegar. Making pickled cucumbers if you want to, pickled okra. You gotta be a rosemary lover. Pickled vegetables, you name it. Your hair is gonna look beautiful. It's gonna smell wonderful. Just give it time to dry and let the vinegar smell evaporate. Simple, easy, you can do this. And yes, vinegars are a good thing to have on your shelf. Speaking of shelf life, now, as long as you store this correctly, you have 10 years at least shelf life. If you keep it on your counter, you're going to have, where light hits it, you're going to have about 5 years shelf life. Now, later on, if you end up using all the rosemary out of it, don't worry, your vinegar will still be fine. It'll have a longer shelf life later on once a lot of the green material is out of the jar. And like I said, if you want to, you can go in and strain it, or you can leave the herbs in your jar because it does look pretty. Simple, easy, you can do it. Everyone, stay safe, stay sound. Don't let these channels paranoia you. Keep your head on a swivel. Stock those pantries with everything you can and do the best you can. Stay safe and sound, everyone. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Don't forget to read the description box below the video. Even more information will be in it. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. May you each be blessed. Everyone, take care.